So simple. The Da Vinci Code, great. Look at the Vitruvian hummingbird and remove the bird for a moment and see a circle, a not quite a square, and a beam. And you see the beam across the center. Now, what Da Vinci is saying is that if you bend that beam, where is that beam going to reference its bending? Is it going to reference its bending from the ends of the beam or from the center? If you try and bend it. Bearing in mind we're now down at infinite scale, so he's saying there is nowhere else to go now. With Mark's principle, we're looking at the actual center of bending. Where is it? Is it the ends of the beam or the center of the beam? And it turns out to be both at the same time. Superposition. Those two states that I show in the diagram, the simple geometry and the complex geometry, exist at the same time in Planck's constant. One exists for an instant, one exists for a moment, for the rest of the time. Flash, flash, flash. Really simple. So when you take the beam and you bend it up, what happens is the center of bending moves down. The center of bending must move. You've created a rigid body, and therefore so you're supporting the ends. So now, therefore, the center of bending moves down. There's nowhere for it to go. So the force alone moves. The force, this is Victor Levy, 1906, proves that vector potential occurs before motion. Proved it in 1906, says so in its introduction. Because vector potential exists, it means that the force moves. And the force takes up those other two positions. And now you've got the center of bending is now split between two centers of bending, creating a third center of bending. There's another center. Every time you create a center of bending, you move the center, you create another. But that one is the one that actually did the movement in the first place. The flash, the expansion. Now, so there you can see now. So when you try and bend that beam up in the center of the beam, the bending moment moves outside the mass, as always. The meter fall outside the mass, always. But in so doing, it's actually moved into the mass. It's come back to where it started. It's moved into the water, the bowl of water underneath. Created a reaction, charge difference, flash. So you've got momentum of the twisting hemisphere of the bottom, and then you've got the light on the top. And it shows that the human heartbeat, and I think this is in my pi natural, the numbers in the middle of the 3144 pattern are 10 numbers that represent the stiff modulus, the solid modulus. You've got elastic and plastic. All this is elastic and plastic. This is the solid modulus, the straight line. If you try and compress this straight line, it won't compress. And it's base 60 to the 5. The power is the 5. It's the reordering of the 5. And then you've got 0, 1, 1. Now I think this is order of firing. You get 2 ons, off, on, off, on, off, on. That's the pattern. But the on looks like a single on, but it's a double on. And now you can see you've got clockwise and anti-clockwise motion going on. Bottom of the sphere, spinning anti-clockwise, relative to the top one. But the two motions added together, you've got the ratio is beautiful. You get 4 easy clockwise winds of one center of bending. You get 2 anti-clockwise bends on the second center of bending, creates 1 or -1 clockwise bend, clockwise motion of the gear ratios, 4 to 2 to 1. That's -1. And it moves on a bit further, a tick further. So it's not the arrow of time, it's the loop of time. So the arrow is the straight line. Underneath it, draw a loop, 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 all joining up. And the loop is those 2 pi vectors, the 2 pi tensors, the 2 states of pi. The relationship between the two, the natural and the real, creates the elastic. The elastic is actually just the ratio between the 2 pi's that must exist. It's just a ratio. But that ratio creates water because it's negative Poisson's ratio. So referencing Da Vinci Code, proves this is the knowledge from the Vatican, and that the reason that they don't share it is because it means they know we're all going to die and they can't bear to tell us. But you have to know the news. Yeah? Yes, we are all going to die. These bodies are going to slough them off. But we, each individual that you are, will continue on the other side in a new body on a flat planet. It's magic. Proven that we are magic. You have to believe that you're magic. Believe you have this power. To accept you're going to slough off your cocoon, this carcass, and you will find life on the other side. And when you find out how we're going to do it, lockdown, rest, party, orgasm, finish, party at the end of the universe. And the answer is 42. It's 422 to -1 ratio. And the meaning of life? Culture. Culture. Evolve your culture. Oh, the 011 and the time loop. The heartbeat runs backwards. The big beat is the first beat. And it's got an echo, slightly less, but there's a spark in the middle. And that spark does a reversal of the theoretical elasticity, and so it goes the other direction. So it's 011 on the top and 110 on the bottom. And the 110 is the energy, because it's the beating of the human heart. Believe in magic. Believe it today. And let's begin. I'm not frightened to tell you. I'm proud to tell you, because we're all going together as a species. We have a period now of peace and reconciliation and forgiveness, where the Jews, the Ashkenazi Jews, are going to convert to Christ right now, admit they were wrong, understand why they were wrong, that they read the graph wrong, that they thought the negativity was the power, they were wrong. Simple as that, outsmarted, convert to Christ and tell us the truth. And let's get out of here. And let's go together. And let's go with love. 1892. Follow the Rebel King.